So someone messaged me asking if they can buy a BMW as their very first car. They said they're a huge fan of the brand, love BMWs, follow all the social media channels that cover BMWs, and they really want to get it. They want to get it as their first car, but they are afraid that it might be one of the bigger mistakes that they make. Well, guys, first of all, I think a lot of the younger generation is pretty smart because a question like that seems to be a very intelligent question in the sense that the person understands that a BMW is a risky buy, especially as your first car. So I'm not going to go into why Toyota Camry, Corolla, Yaris, or a Honda Jazz, or a Civic, or a Civic Si. I'm not going to go into why some of those cars are the better first cars to own, right? The person asking this question already understands that, but I am going to take them through what buying a BMW as their first car would look like. Here's the deal. You've got a budget. You'll be online looking at Marketplace or your favorite car buying site, whatever is applicable to your region, and you'll find a BMW within your budget. You'll be sweating. You'll be thinking, geez, I want to go check it out right now. You're going to make time. You might even take time off work. You rush and you go and check that BMW out. And the moment you lay eyes on that BMW, because I've been there, the moment you lay eyes on that BMW, it's going to blow you away. Never seen something as majestic and as beautiful as that BMW. It's a couple of factors. Your first car and you're buying a BMW as your first car. For BMW fans, the way a BMW looks, I think for most people, but really for fans, the way a BMW looks is something else. In your budget as your first car, it's going to be outside of warranty, and obviously it's going to be pretty old and it's going to be, somewhat beaten up. And when you see that BMW, you'll pretty much ignore a lot of the flaws. You might see them, or you might just subconsciously ignore the flaws, and you'll love that car. Then you'll speak to the owner, you'll take it for a drive. On the drive, you may notice a few issues, guys, but you may not. Low key, you might notice that there's a few things that aren't just right, but you'll subconsciously forget about those as well. As soon as you're done the drive, you'll have been blown away by the BMW. You'll give the owner a deposit. You won't negotiate very hard. You'll end up paying more than the car's worth. The owner knows it. The market knows it. You probably don't know it because it's your first car and it's a European car. You don't understand how the market works. Regardless, you've bought the car now. It's good times ahead. When you pick up the car and you're driving it home, pretty much that night or pretty much in a few weeks, you'll have your first repair. It's an old BMW and it's a cheap old BMW. So you'll have your first repair. Immediately, you'll think about calling the owner and you'll be angry and you'll think, geez, I've been scammed. All the forums and all the rumors, everything was right. BMWs are terrible cars. And then slowly you'll come back down to earth and you'll say, okay, take it easy, let's resolve this. And you'll go online and you'll find a huge BMW community, people talking BMWs from all around the world, forums, Facebook pages, Instagram pages, YouTube, TikTok. There's so many resources out there. You'll start reading them, you'll have a community, people will respond to your messages, and slowly but surely you'll start to understand what the issue with your BMW is, and you'll pretty much have it diagnosed based on reading some of the forums and speaking to some of the people. At this stage, you have two paths. First path is you take it to a workshop. Don't take it to a dealership ever, but take it to a BMW specialist. That path is expensive, especially if you're outside of Europe. I'm in Australia, I've been there, expensive. If you're in USA, Canada, it'll be expensive as well. The second path, you rent yourself. This is where you buy your tools, buy the components and the parts, and you do the job yourself in your garage. Maybe you call a couple of buddies. Really depends on your affordability. So you do that, you get your BMW fixed. Fingers crossed, not a big issue. Look, most of these cars shouldn't blow up on you. Fingers crossed it was a small thing, some plastic pipe burst or water pump went. Well, that's not a small thing. Maybe your belt went. Something small, and it's now resolved. Now you're driving your BMW and you love it even more, right? Because you've been through that repair and now it's driving perfect. It's your baby. You love that BMW and you really feel like it's the ultimate driving machine. And slowly you start to give it a pass for that one repair. You think, look, I bought it from that owner. It was just, these things happen when you buy an old car. I think it's going to be smooth sailing from here. And pretty much in a couple of months or maybe 3 or 4 months, you'll have another issue pop up on your BMW. And again, it'll be random. It'll be minor. It might be minor enough for you to just nurse it and let it be, or it might require some mechanical attention. Again, you'll face a choice. Take it to the workshop, do it yourself. Because it's your first car, you'll probably end up doing yourself. And once you do that, then the BMW runs smooth again. They give you a good time, and now you're on guard. Let's just see how it goes. Lo and behold, you'll run into another issue. And over the years, this will continue. You might get a good run. You might get 6 months. You might get a whole year without an issue. Whole year without an issue. Yeah, it can happen, right? You might get a whole year without an issue. Then comes time to buy your next car. And by this time, guys, you would be so indoctrined into the BMW world that you'd just be looking at BMWs as your next car. You might even tell yourself that a BMW is reliable, and who can blame you? Because you've picked up good wrenching skills, you know how the BMWs work, you've researched on the forums, created all these relationships, right? All these friends who are Beamer people, and you're surrounded by them. You know the engine codes, you know the transmissions, you know all the common issues. They'll be thinking BMW is the only way, right? And the other thing is you've got all this equity. You've learned how to wrench, how to work on these cars. It would be sad to really give that up and go to another brand, something like a Benz or an Audi or a Toyota like I have. So you'll stick with BMW. From that point on, guys, you'll just be a BMW fan. You'll be pushed into that world, whether you like it or not. It's going to be your brand. And there's nothing wrong with that. Make no mistake, Benz, Audi, those other luxury brands, they have similar sort of paths. Think about what I said. Understand that this can be a very true reality for you. There are instances of engine failures. Think about all that. Think about your time, your career, your trajectory, your business focus. Make your decision from there. I'll catch you next time.